Okay, start recording. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. As you good afternoon. As you all know that we have been meeting each other about after 3 months, 3 to 4 months. When did we have our last session? Can anybody just answer? Just give me a small answer. I mean, how long after we are communicating with one another? So it's been few months, right? So it turns out that we will have to start a new sort of way of, mentoring with you students. Earlier, I used to mentor you on different language platforms. But this time, I'll be mentoring you with the almost only with the normal gestures of mentoring. I mean, what should be the thought process? What should be a process mindset of a student, innovative mindset, so and sort of stuff. I will not be teaching C++ yet up and until you don't request me. Any language that you don't request me. C++ or maybe Python or any other language. Okay. So the second one, this one, Sumangala G, if you can just give a glimpse of the entire class rather than keeping the camera that way, it's just pointing it upward. So if the camera can be pointed to the entire class, it will be more interesting or maybe better. Or you can keep your phone just in front of the class so that I can see the entire class in some way, right? So while you do that, let me just go and give you a full screen of the presentation. And I'll be telling you that today's topic will be how to think about a problem, what is the problem, and what is the solution, right? So anything that you say is a problem, what is a problem in that sense? Okay. So if the camera setup is all right, can we start? Hello. Can we start now? If the camera angle is all right, because I'm not able to see the entire class. I was willing to see the entire class. If there could be a way that I can see the entire class, maybe through the phone or maybe through the other input, this one, maybe either this one or this one.
Should I remove the phone, sir?
You may switch on the camera of the phone and then keep the phone near to the wall where you're projecting your screen, near to that somewhere, so that I can see the entire class. If you can do that, it will be very helpful in one way or the other. Can you do that? Hello?
Sir, can you speak now?
I'm saying that can you place your phone in the front so that I can see the entire class? If not, then I will start. Right, somewhere behind, because I like to change the layout here. Change layout, make it sidebar, uh, maybe spotlight. Wherein spotlight, you no, change layout, sidebar. I will give this, and I will remove that, and I will give this inside. Okay. That way is fine. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so today's topic will be how to think about a problem, what is the problem, and what is the solution, right? So, firstly, we'll discuss what is the problem. How do you define a problem? Can anybody answer? You may raise your hand and I may choose someone, like so. Can you define what is a problem? How do you define a problem? What is a problem to you? How do you say that this is a problem or that is a problem? How do you define a problem? Anyone? Yes, ma'am. You're not audible though. Your mic is off. Right. Okay, let it be like though, like that only. That's okay. I can see the entire class. Okay. So, anybody who wants to answer this question, right? You may raise your hand and then answer. What is the problem? How do you define a problem? Try to answer. Ma'am, you may choose anyone who's raising their hand and then that person may speak up. Or may use the mic. Anyone? No?
Sir, repeat one.
I'm saying, how do you define a problem? What is a problem to you? How do you define a problem? Okay. No, no answer. That way we will go as. See, there are multiple topics that we will discuss today. Okay. Since you're not asking, I'll be going quickly. So, what is the problem? Then we'll discuss about what is the solution. Then we will discuss what is the scope of a problem. Okay. Then we shall discuss how many people does this problem affect. How solving this shall increase my mental aptitude. Okay. Synergy in law of connectivity of multiple solutions. Then when not to bother. So there is a problem and you see that there is a problem, but you are saying, okay, I don't want to bother this problem. I don't want to get into this problem. Let me just be on my own. Let it be. So when to look for a mentor. Right? These are multiple questions for every person who is trying to solve any problem in any stage sees in their everyday life. Okay, let's try and answer them. So any noun, verb, adjective that in its meaning, if restrains an ongoing or to be yet started process, is a problem. Okay, so there is some process that is already continuing, or there could be a process that has to continue, or or a process that yet has to be started. Something or someone or anything or any verb or any adjective, if they are restraining you to continue this process, that noun, verb, or adjective is a problem. Okay, for example, you are going to your school and then you find uh, some on the road a lot of water has been collected because it's quite rainy on that day, and it's a rainy season. It's a day among the rainy season, and then you are coming from your home to school. Now in this situation, you see a lot of water has been collected, and you have to cross the road. So what is the problem that I have to cross the road, but there is a lot of water which will make me dirty and make me wet, and I don't want to go in those conditions to the school. While I'm returning home, I may get dirty. I may play with my friends in that water, in that rainwater, but I don't want to be playing in the rainwater and be wet and then go to school. I don't want to do that, right? So my ongoing process is that I'm starting from my home and going to the school. Okay, right? I'm not able to see anyone, right? So my process is that I have to start from home and I have to reach the school. In between, I found that there is a lot of water that has been collected, and it's a dirty water, dirty rainwater that will make me dirty. So the problem here is that dirty water, that noun dirty water. So what could be a solution to this problem? You understand what is actually a problem by example. So there was an ongoing process. I started from home. I'm going to school. That's an ongoing process. In between, there is this water that has been collected, which is dirty water. This dirty water is a noun, which is a problem to my process that I'm trying to continue. Yes or no? I need a feedback from your students. It's not that I will be continuously speaking and there is no reply. I always try to make interactive sessions. So I need a reply. Yes or no, maybe you can write it down somewhere if you want to. I'm just seeing a camera that is being handled to many people, changing orientations. Keep a camera stable with one position. Don't need to touch it again and again. You switch on the camera, keep your hand down, switch on the mic if possible. Okay, that's a better view. That was the better view, the earlier one. Any answer? I'm asking for an answer. Do you understand this, what I'm saying? I'm not able to hear you. You may write it down in the chat. Yes or no. Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying, do you understand what I'm saying? I am asking you a question that what is the problem, and I will just explain to you with an example. Do you understand that example? Yes or no? Huh? Any answer? No answer. Okay. Turns out that I'm
What is
talking.
the problem? Then what is the question, sir?
The question was, ma'am, that I just
Ah,
explained them that, for example, you started from your home and you're going to reach a school, and you started this process of walking, right?
yeah, yeah.
In between, you find a lot of water that has been collected,
Ah,
right? So you don't want to get wet when you want to go to school. So what is the
Yeah,
problem
yeah.
here?
Solution. Okay, sir. I'll
What
ask
is the
him.
problem? The problem is that what collected water. Then what could be a solution in this problem? What could be a solution to that problem? How do you solve this problem?
Raincoat. Raincoat. They will wear raincoat, sir.
Raincoat.
Hello?
Okay, but then in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
raincoat will that help you uh, keeping dry your feet? Is that
The is raincoat is helping you. They say that helping, sir. They say
okay?
it is helping.
Now the question is how high is the water? Is it
How
near to your ankles? For example, the water is near to your ankles, right? That's the amount of water. That's the height of water, and you have to go
still
through
your
it. You
how
have to
did you
wade through it.
go?
Okay.
What is still your ankle?
Water is at
So
your
you should
ankle.
not get wet. How do you go?
How will raincoat help in this
You go
situation?
by things, sir. They'll go by vehicle.
They go by vehicle. Okay, vehicle could be one solution, right? You solve the
They'll
problem
go
by
by
vehicle.
vehicle.
If there is no vehicle, then
They will go by vehicle. ಮಾತಾಡೋದೇ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಫೋನಲ್ಲೇ bus. They will go by bus only, sir.
bus service. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it turns out that the bus services has been okay. Bus service has to be there. Okay. Otherwise, what people tend to
Ah.
do is they place large stones or maybe bricks
They will place large stone on the brick. ಸ್ಟೋನ್
or the
ಬಂದ ಇಟ್ಟು
bricks.
ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ.
Yeah,
ಜಂಪ್
on
ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಕಲ್ಲುಗಳಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ಟಿಗೆಲಿಟ್ಟು ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ ಒದ್ದೆ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ಅದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ರೈನ್ ಕೋಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋದು ಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋದು ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಮೊದಲು
isn't it?
ಕಲ್ಲು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ.
Usually we find these sort of solutions, right? Usually we find these sort of solutions. We keep some sort of a brick or maybe a large rock in that area so that we can step on it and then reach to the next side of the road. Yes or no? Okay. So now you understand what a solution is, right? Let's proceed to the next part. So any noun, verb, adjective process that in its meaning if facilitates, reduces or mitigates risks, remove hurdles, and improve performance of an ongoing or yet to start process is a solution. Let me just rephrase that. Yet to start, not started. Yet to start process is a solution, isn't it? Right. Now, what is the scope of a problem? That's how I define a scope. Any problem whose geophysical, geometrical, number of those affected, number of adjacent problems and adjacent solutions are actually the entire scope of the problem. Right? For example, in the same example that we are continuing, you are walking. Okay? Now, there is only one road that you have to pass through. For a student A who has to just pass through that one block of road, that the one part of the road, that's the problem to that student, and the scope of that problem is limited to that road only. But a person who is traveling few kilometers, a person who started from his home and has to travel few kilometers, for that person there could be many areas wherein there could be a lot of this water that has been collected. So in that case, the scope of the problem is enlarged or is larger as compared to that person who is coming from a larger distance. Do you understand this? Where is ma'am? Give it to ma'am. Give your phone to ma'am. Let ma'am keep it. Are you able to get this point which I'm trying to make? Are you able to understand this? I'm talking about a scope of a problem. So a student who has to travel few kilometers, for that student, there is a lot of there's not many roads amongst which there must be water collected or water gathered, and that student has to pass through many of those waterlogged areas. So for him or her, the scope of a problem or the iteration of the same problem is higher as compared to a person who's living very close to the school, who's close by to the school and has to travel only one road, or has to just pass on one or two roads, isn't it? So that's how we define a scope of a problem. So there is a lot of the way we say it is that the number of those affected, the number of adjacent problems and adjacent solutions, that are actually the entire scope of the problem. So there is a geophysical and geometrical area also related to this problem. The farther you stay, the larger the geophysical area. The closer you stay to the school, the smaller the geophysical area. So the scope of the problem, larger or smaller, relies on these factors as been written on their screen. Okay. Now the next question: how many people does this problem affect? The scope, limitation, and boundations define and refine the number of people that are affected. Okay, so in first case, wherein the person has to travel a lot from farther, from I mean areas which are farther from the school, in that situation, the boundary condition or the boundary of the problem relies where the person is starting and where the person has to reach. So this is my house and I have to reach to this point. This is my school. The problem, the scope, the problem has already been elongated because of the scope, geophysical scope. So in this case, any person who is starting on from this point, or any person starting within this much area, is facing similar problems, right? So scope, limitation, and boundations define and refine the number of people that are affected. So there are many people who are affected from the same problem, as compared to the person who is standing here or sitting or living here near to the school. For that person, the scope of the problem is smaller. So the number of people affected in this region will be smaller as compared to this person. Okay? Do you get this point?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, how solving this shall increase my mental aptitude? If there is a problem, I have to solve that problem. Right? How solving this shall increase my mental aptitude? The scope, limitation, and boundations define and refine the number of people that are affected. Right? In this situation, if the number of people who are affected come together to solve a problem, isn't that the problem will be solved quicker or quickly? It will be quicker to solve this problem because many solutions can be projected in this situation. There are many people working in this case.
Problem.
Any answer or any question or anything? You've been asking something?
Sir, which question you want to answer now?
I didn't get it. Please speak very clear when you speak. And please be a little slow because we are miles apart.
As phone level, the question.
You will turn on your camera and ask your question. It's not a problem. You're not audible if you're saying something. You may turn on your camera if you want to say something. If you want to ask something, you may turn on your camera. Okay, let me continue. Yes. Anything? Okay. The scope, limitation, and boundations define and refine the number of people that are affected. So is the mental aptitude for a person who is solving the same problem. Right? For a person who is starting from a larger distance, if they collaborate, they will be able to solve this problem in a less time. If they're solving it individually, it's a huge problem. For example, I may use carpooling. I may pick my friends with me and then reach to the school. Okay. If I'm bringing all those friends, if all of those friends are also using their own individual cars, there is a bit more traffic as compared to the earlier situation. The more the traffic close to the school, once reached close to the school, the more congestion will be there near to the school. And the more time they will take to reach to the school. Isn't it? Yes or no? Hello? Somebody likes to join in. View, admit. That's a better camera.
Yes, I just changed
That's a better camera position. Okay, that's good camera. And this is mostly expected to every time work like so. Right? In the next session that we take, this is the best situation that we can work. Right? You place a camera like so, and I am able to see the entire class. This is the best way to work. Okay? Now let's go to the next point. Yeah, good, good, good. The next point is synergy, law of connectivity of multiple solutions. Sorry, I made a mistake there. It's solutions. Typo. What's the synergy? The basic opportunities and linkages among underlying principle of a solution is synergy between those solutions. Do you understand? Okay, that's the thing. The basic opportunities and linkages among underlying principles of the solution is synergy between those solutions. So, for example, in the same problem that we were discussing, a person staying far by from the school, if they try to talk to each other, find some synergy with the solution that everybody has to travel through a car. So, let's choose a single car. 5 to 6 students might sit in a, two to three students might sit in a single car, four-seater car, and then one parent is driving and then leaving the students to the school. Okay. In this way, you connected the same problem to many people. So now there is synergy amongst those students or the people who's facing the problem, the same problem, and then now you are trying to reduce the time of the solution that has to be provided to each one of you. So since there are more lesser number of cars near to the school, so it's easier for the for the traffic management system to work properly near to the school. Otherwise, every person who's bringing their own car, there is a lot of congestion near to the school, and that's a problem. Then one problem is leading to another problem. First was water clogging, the other is now congestion, traffic congestion, right? So you see, the synergy of one solution is actually reducing the problem that could be occurred in the future. You're reducing your own problem by uh, creating some linkages among underlying principle of the solution. Okay. Now, when not to bother is the next part. So, negotiating between everyday life with problems, if increases self productivity, must be handled. Others must be discussed. Problems that are out of scope should never be touched. Right? So, a person who is living close by to the school, if asked that, if asked that, okay, one of your friends is coming from a larger distance, Why don't you care about this? The person will ask that why should I care about this? It doesn't affect me, right? If it is not affecting me, why should I spend my time solving problem for this person, for the other students? Now, if there is a productivity that is increased overall, if their coming late is affecting my study, I may discuss this between students, and then I may try to solve this as a problem for the civil purpose. But other than that, this problem is out of my scope. Why should I touch it? Right? And for the people who are coming far by, they must discuss this problem amongst each other. Why? Because it actually will increase their self productivity. This will reduce their time of travel. This will reduce their time of congestion near to the school. And obviously, the reduction of congestion will imply the reduction of honking. Lesser number of honking, amount of honking, lesser will be your mind disturbed in the morning sessions. Otherwise, if morning sessions are a student who is entering the school is already going through those beeps of the car and honking of the car. That's a huge problem for the students, right? So we need to see how it increases your self productivity and how is it increasing the overall productivity of the system. One must always see these things. Okay. Now, are you able to unmute, ma'am? Please try and unmute. Please try and unmute yourself from this from the this
Then, sir.
right, right.
Yeah.
I'm saying something to all the students here, right? If a person who is coming, okay, first benches, front benches, please be seated. Please be seated. Please be seated. Listen to me. Don't get distracted. Listen to me. Front bench. This boy. The third boy who is looking back. See in front. Yes, you. Okay. So I'm saying that if this problem is being solved by multiple people, will it not reduce the time that you may need to travel? Yes or no? Yes, right? So, okay, in this situation, let's go to the last part. When to look for a mentor? If stuck in a situation where understanding of the solution, let's come to the last point. If stuck in a situation, when to look for a mentor? If stuck in a situation where understanding of the solution could not solve the problem and learning newer concept reduces the productivity while increasing the strength of the problem, then one must consider to talk to a relevant mentor. Okay? If you are stuck in a situation where understanding a solution could not solve the problem and learning new concept reduces the productivity while increasing the strength of the problem, then one must consider to relevant mentor. For example, as a single student, if you're trying to travel to your school from a farther distance, in this situation, you are not in a situation that you will be learning to drive, right? And then in this situation, you will ask your parent to drive or some driver to drive your car. So who is the mentor here? Your parent. Okay, I'll drive the car and take you to the school. That's your solution. So once the problem is out of your mental or physical scope, and if you are not able to understand the problem effectively, then one must consider the mentor. Apart from that, prior to that, try to solve the problem by yourself. Yes or no? Understood? You don't seem to be worried after you've been hit, right? This poor student, after being scolded, he's still smiling. Okay, I'm still recording the entire session, so eventually this will be given to you. It's not a problem there. It's an opportunity that way. However, try to listen to the mentor rather than to each other. Ma'am, kindly unmute yourself and let me know which language local language are you speaking? Is it Telugu that you speak or is it Tamil that you speak? Kindly unmute.
Kannada, sir.
Kannada,
They
okay.
speak Kannada.
You speak
They
Kannada.
speak Kannada, yeah.
Okay, okay.
They can understand English, sir, no problem as such.
I know that, ma'am, they understand English, but then
Right.
might be that I'm not able to explain them in English that much and might be they won't be able to understand what I'm actually trying to say in English. It could be that if somebody could be a translator here, maybe you or maybe I may start to learn Kannada that way.
No, no, I told them in Kannada, sir.
Okay, okay.
Whatever
So
you are telling, I am telling them in Kannada, sir.
okay, so that's the entire presentation, and this will be uploaded to your curriculum and will be shared to you. Okay.
Yes, sure, sir.
So that will be it for the session today. I think any question, any interaction that you want to do, you may please ask
ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ
me any question.
ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳೋರು ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಹತ್ರ? Sir, they don't have any question.
That means they didn't listen.
Whatever they have, I'll try to communicate to you, sir. Whatever
Okay,
they
ma'am.
ask.
Okay. The point is that these sessions we are taking is because of the fact that we don't want every student just to go on the internet and search for the queries. It's
Yeah,
better
yeah.
than they should understand and at least attempt any problem
ಬಾರೋ ಇಲ್ಲಿ
firstly by
ಫೋಟೋ ಆದ್ರೂ
themselves.
ತಕ್ಕೊಳ್ರೋ ಫೋಟೋ ತೆಕ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ.
They must first attempt the problem by themselves rather than running over to the internet.
Yeah, sir.
Right? That way we want them to learn. So in this
Yeah, yeah.
situation, firstly, students tend
See,
to.
instead of searching in the internet, you have to explore the problem, you have to find the solution. That is what he's telling you. It is not that every time you open the phone and search Google. Okay, that is what sir is telling. I am communicating to you.
Right.
Yeah, I told him so.
Yeah, that's the thing which is very much required, and I'm seeing that these days a lot of students just go on Chat GPT and ask for questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Now it is happening, sir.
Now it's a bigger problem, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
instead
Even
of
exams
just
also go.
asking the simple solution, we can actually layer a problem. So that
Yeah.
Chat GPT can only be giving specific answers, but then if you have to solve the entire problem, you need to interconnect between them.
Yeah, yeah.
So a person who is more talented and is able to understand the entire problem will be able to interconnect the stages of it. Right. So that will be the next thing, and I think next session will be for that only. So
Yeah.
these are from eighth students. These are eighth class students, right?
Ninth standard, sir. I will send the photo of the names.
Okay, ninth standard student and then 60 students, right? Okay, okay, ma'am. You may send me that click photo and then send it to me.
Huh?
You may click that photo and send it to me.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. So
Sure.
that will be all for today's session. And after 9th, 10th, or 11th, or 12th, or maybe earliest classes 6 to 8, if they want to visit and
Ah.
sit for these classes, they are mostly welcome. At least those students sit quietly, I hope so.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Ninth class students are still talkative.
No, because I connected little late, sir. That's why they were talking.
Okay, okay.
Some problem. I had my lunch very late today,
Okay.
so I couldn't. I couldn't connect faster, sir. That's why they were talking to me. Hey,
Are they participating in Tinkerpreneur?
ಬಂದೇಳಿ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ಲ. ಬಂದೇಳಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ನೀವು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅವರು.
Are
Yeah.
they participating in Tinkerpreneur?
Yeah, Tinkerpreneur, they're attending the classes, sir. And we have started now level 1, level 2 unbox training I had. So 1, 2 classes we have done. For the whole school, we are conducting one class every day. Every day, one class for all the school students.
Is
And
it by which
they
mentor
gave
is
some
doing
in.
this? Is there a
Sir?
mentor who's been allotted for this, or is it that the school
No,
is
no, they
taking
are
this
training us. We have to train the students with the help of student mentor only.
student mentor only? Okay.
Yeah, student mentor only. They have some ADAP is there, no sir. That maker got people only came and trained us in Bangalore for 2 days, and whatever they have trained is for 3 months they have trained us. After that, they'll be doing next session. Whatever they have trained, we have to teach them in 3 months.
So these
So
are
that is
student mentors who are training and
student
giving
mentor.
sessions.
I am going to train the student mentor.
Okay.
With the help of them, again we are going to conduct the class. It's like
Okay. So this I've also started this initiative called Mentor Shala, right?
maker got sir.
No, I have started this initiative called Mentor Shala.
Maker Shala,
Mentor Shala.
Tinker Shala,
Mentor Shala.
Mentor Shala. Okay,
Uh,
sir.
I'm sharing links of it to you every day. If
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
gone through that. So
Yeah,
any
even
student
I'm
who wants
seeing
to,
that.
if any student or any mentor or a teacher wants to join that mentor shala from the time period that I've written, they are mostly
Yeah.
welcome to do so.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that way.
Okay, sir.
All right. So let's end this session today. If any
Yes, sir.
further query comes up, and we are mostly
Yeah,
welcome
yeah.
to
I will
answer.
communicate, sir. Whatever
All right.
query there.
Thank you for
Okay,
your
sir. After
time. Thank
watching
you.
the YouTube, after watching the YouTube link you share, they will ask me questions. I will
Uh,
send it to you, sir.
okay, ma'am. All right. Thank you
Okay.
very much. Bye bye.
Thanks.